Hey there, everyone. The old man here at Triforge Smithing. Jacob's not here. He's off on some black op, and I can't go into it to any great degree. Today, what we're here to do is to deal with what do we do when you're done with making yourself a leaf. You've put it in the vinegar, you've cleaned it up nicely, and needless to say, it looks a little bit tacky. I don't know that I'd be happy presenting that to anyone. So let's put it from the vinegar, and we're going to wire wheel brush that sucker. Rather shiny, but I can't promise that it's going to keep that luster for any length of time. So let's try using cold gun bluing. I'm not fond of it. Don't know if you are or not. Now, one of the things that it says in cold gun bluing is that you're supposed to oil the piece after you've gone about bluing it. And believe it or not, these pieces were a bit darker. These have all sat for about 24 hours outside. So the ones that we did oil have a reasonable difference in quality, but not to my likings. All right? Not to my likings at all. So what we're going to try to do today, we've got two more pieces. They've been vinegared and lightly cleaned. What we're going to do with these guys today is get them up to about 450 to 500 degrees, and then oil quench them and see if we can build a nice little carbon layer on the outside of them that with a light cloth will buff up and give you a nice carbon patina on the outside of it. In other words, what's called hot blackening. All right, this is cold blackening on these pieces. We're hoping we can hot blacken it. All right, so come back to us in a couple of minutes. We'll show you what we've got. All right, now that we've gotten these two pieces cleaned up on the wire wheel, next thing we want to do is alcohol them up. You're looking for alcohol in the sense of denatured alcohol or acetone, something of that nature. If it's acetone, definitely want to wear gloves. Denatured alcohol, not so bad, but I wouldn't recommend drinking any of it. Don't ask me why I know. So we're going to clean off any sort of residual metals, skin oils, or anything else that are actually on this prior to warming it up. And that's about all that takes. Now let's break out the trustworthy torch of power. And probably, where'd it go? Found it. That. Why? Because you don't have to be with your fingers close to it. Be back to you as soon as we get this to something close to warm. Thing annoys the snot out of me. Why it doesn't work anymore is beyond me. You can start to see the color run on them. And get it wet. Now let's see what its brother does. Now we're not trying to bring it up to working temperature. If you're familiar with forge terminology, all we're trying to do is get it to where it's going to carbonize the oil because of the heat of the steel as soon as we put it into it. That carbon layer is going to be what it's using to protect it from rust, general light abrasions, surface scratchings, that sort of stuff. Coming hot. That's what all that gun bluing is all about. Let's see. We'll take out the first one and grab our trustworthy cloth here and see what it looks like. And frankly, in comparison to blued and oiled, I'm a big fan of this. And we haven't done any decent buffing. It has a very nice colored patina because of the rainbowing that metal, heating up the metal initially did it seemed to trap that look in there nicely. I think that piece turned out rather attractive. Let's see what its brother looks like. Of course, it'd be real handy if the hands and eyes worked in any degree of harmony. Yes. Yes, so far I'm a big fan of that look. These two pieces versus that. I don't know about you. Leave me a comment. Which one would you prefer buying? This or those that look like this? Definitely better than that. And no one wants this. Of course, if you want yours to just be buffed, we can send it out to you looking just like that. Of course, it won't look like this particular piece because this was just us playing with something. Oh, if you're curious to what that is, that's supposed to be a worm eating the leaf, if you were curious. Okay? Well, we were just playing. But that gives you some idea of what we're looking for. These earlier pieces, for example, again, soaked in vinegar, a couple of days, and then nothing more than water rinsed. If we were to put this back in vinegar and hit it with something as simple as a nice nylon toothbrush, it would buff itself up to a nice clean state, like you saw these pieces before I started on them. But this is a control function. You've got this, you've got that look, you've got this look, that, and now finally, those. With all that being said, Triforge Smithing. Come back soon. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys on the other side. And hopefully, Jacob will be back from his black op as soon as able. See you.